A while back, Fujifilm released the second version of their entry-level mirrorless camera body aimed at bloggers, vloggers, and lifestyle content creators. To me, the Fujifilm X-T200 was a welcome upgrade to the X-T100, released about a year and a half before the X-T200. It was a compromise in features and nothing special to add to the Fujifilm mirrorless camera lineup. I have a feeling that Fuji adjusted to consumer feedback and released a way better take on a great initial idea. Despite a couple of down points with this camera, it is a dream for content creators who want and need to take their creation to another level. So in this video, I will be evaluating the following camera body aspects: ergonomics, standard and extra features, image quality for both video and photo workflows, and usability of this camera. So let's get into the specifications of this camera. The sensor resolution is 24.2 megapixels. Still images are RAW and JPEG. Movie recording formats on this camera is MPEG and H.264. You can get a 4K 30p max in 15 minutes. 1080 goes to 60p, and you also have slow motion 120 frames per second. There is a no crop in 4K. This camera works with the Fuji X mount system. The camera has a mechanical shutter at 1/4000th of a second max. The electronic shutter goes all the way to 1/32,000th of a second max. Flash sync is at 1/80th of a second. The burst rate of this camera goes to 8 frames per second. The EVF is 2.36 million dots. LCD is 3.5 inch 2.76 million dot variable angle flip screen. The touchscreen is for shooting and playback. And for battery, we have not reinvented the wheel. It uses the standard NPW126S batteries. The feel of this camera is excellent. It offers a somewhat different finish from the higher end models like the X-T3 and X-T4. However, I have to conclude that the X-T200's front and back grip are the culmination of Fujifilm's learning of their past mistakes from cameras like the X-T30. The body form benefits from all the things that I would like in a camera. Remarkably well-shaped front grip, thumb rest protrudes just enough, and unlike the X-T30, the joystick is recessed yet grippable. The camera skin really feels good in the hand, and button placement is very good. Now, the LCD and EVF on the Fujifilm X-T200 are both top-notch, especially for a camera in this price range. At 2.36 million dots of resolution, the EVF is crisp, sharp, and easy to read. The LCD is bright and easy to discern even in highly lit situations. It seems inevitable that the tripod screw would be so close to the battery and memory card door. It's just not fun to have a battery dial while you have a camera like this on a tripod. I wish that Fujifilm would come up with a way to fix this problem, but it doesn't seem likely when you need to get the form factor of this type of camera to a bare minimum. So all macro photographers, product photographers, and landscape photographers, beware. The camera is surprisingly light with a solid feel. It never felt that the construction was chintzy at all. At 370 grams, which is 13 ounces, with a memory card and battery, it feels light and sturdy. Battery life with the legacy NPW126S is what it is. It's okay. Make sure that you are ready to switch out batteries when shooting. The Fujifilm X-T200 also has a built-in flash, which is a nice-to-have option when you are in a pickle. However, it is a good thing that Fujifilm includes a flash hot shoe for more customizable flash photography applications. Input and output options include HDMI output. There is a USB-C jack that not only transfers files and charges the battery, but also allows you to attach an adapter to have headsets. The Fujifilm X-T200 also includes a microphone jack. These types of input and output options on a camera that retails at an MSRP of $699 US is absolutely amazing. The X-T200's button placement is very well thought out. However, 3 buttons have a weird feel when in use. The power button is recessed and does not feel sure when you press it. This unsure feeling is accentuated by the fact that the startup time on this camera is not the fastest. I found myself often wondering whether I had started up the camera at all. I would end up pressing the power button again only to find out that I was turning the camera back off. Similarly, the video record button is not recessed but very low to the surface of the body. This video button style does not inspire confidence, and you are never quite sure whether video recording is activated or not. For me, these 2 points were small disappointments. Hopefully, a firmware update will wind up at least fixing the slow responsiveness of this camera in general, so that these button designs will not be such a burden. The menu system on the X-T200 is that of the more consumer-end cameras by Fuji. It is pretty good, but offers a bit less customizability. I have always liked Fuji's implementation of their shooting menus, so there's not much to say here. Just be informed that some of the more in-depth functions of the flagship cameras are not on this menu system. Now, I believe that Fuji has really listened to public feedback on their touchscreens in general. The X-T200 really demonstrates this. Menu navigation and even shooting using the touchscreen is really way better than older Fuji models with touchscreen functions. The reaction is snappy, sensitivity is nice, and everything that I expect from good touchscreen implementation is there. For touchscreen functions, bravo Fuji. Shooting in manual mode for a photography workflow worked very well. It does not take a lot of time, and one can easily get used to the customizable knobs on the X-T200. Automatic stills photography use is also excellent. I found the camera would always make the right decision in general. When the camera was in full auto, I did not always find the camera making the right decisions for video shooting, however. All was good for focus, but exposure auto was often slow to react. This was a bit of a disappointment for me, as the initial camera specifications list screamed vlogging and lifestyle video. Here's a small slideshow of some of the shots I took with the X-T200 using different lenses. Hope you enjoy, and see you at the other end. Although the X-T200 does not offer in-body image stabilization, it offers 2 modes of image stabilization. One is electronic image stabilization and another is called gimbal function. Both are excellent. Although they are not physical 5-axis image stabilization, these electronic stabilization functions are outstanding. Do not underestimate both modes. Remember that the gimbal function crops on the image though. Anyone looking for stabilized video or stabilized stills image will not be disappointed. This small, inexpensive camera offers eye autofocus detect. The eye auto detection function is useful in both video and photo workflows. The eye detection system on the X-T200 is excellent and could readjust to nail focus on all that I could throw at it. In autofocus continuous, it offered a sort of smooth rack from one focusing point to another. Although some might see this as slow, I found it gave a natural look to each change in adjustment. Although it does not offer some of the high-end video codecs of bigger brothers, both 1080 and 4K video are very good. This leads me to addressing the elephant in the room. A camera that has a flip screen, is lightweight, offers good 4K uncropped video, and decent eye auto detect continuous focusing will be on the wish list of every blogger, vlogger, and lifestyle content creator out there. This camera is really made for those who want to document with an additional oomph in their production quality. The Fujifilm X-T200 also offers 120 frames per second slow motion. As with all cameras in this price range, I will have to tell you not to buy this camera for its slow motion functions. The lower bit rate makes for somewhat shabby slow motion footage. The Fujifilm X-T200 is an amazing stills and video camera. If you can get past the somewhat slow system responsiveness and some quirky button implementation, this camera is great for beginners all the way to intermediate advanced stills photographers. It offers many functions that you would expect in much more expensive models from manufacturers like Sony and Canon. It offers a beautiful, stylish, and vintage finish as well. By also being on the Fujifilm X-mount lens system, it is a camera that has a great deal of room to grow. What can also not be ignored is its potential to be a lifestyle or vlogger's camera. The Fujifilm X-T200 offers so many features that vloggers need. The real amazing thing about this camera is what it gives for the price. With such a low price, it becomes hard to argue to not buy this camera. I will highly recommend this camera for all beginners. So there it is, guys. That is my review of the X-T200 by Fujifilm. A beautiful and very welcome camera to the whole Fuji X-mount lineup. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have comments, please make them below. Have you owned this camera? Put it in the comments below. Love you guys. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget, everybody, keep on making something from nothing.